Most people think that momentum comes because somebody gets lucky. But let me tell you, momentum does not appear, it compounds. It's based off of nurturing consistency, doing the things that cause you to rise while at the same time doing the work and being the cool you that you are. Today, we're watching that happen in real time, here joined by my good buddy, Willie J. Thanks for being here with us,
Hey,
Willie J.
salute, brother. It's great to be here. Pleasure's
Oh,
all mine.
yeah. So, as if we hadn't seen you put out enough things and hit number one enough times, uh, you thought you'd just do a whole EP, 5 songs. The EP is called Eternal Love Volume 1. Um, it features 4 songs that people have heard that already went to number one, just also already went to number one. But it also
That's
has
right.
one new release in it. Um, but first off, for somebody who has been living under a rock, tell us a little bit about you.
Oh man, once again, thank you for having me, my friend. I'm elated to be here. It's a very exciting time. The CEO of the global powerhouse entertainment company with the PME Dream Team, and the company's called Permission Entertainment. And we believe in empowering people, changing lives, and creating hope through arts, love, business, and entertainment. And we're just blessed to be here. And we're riding high, man. This month is Black History Month. And I think we should probably go back to the week of Valentine's Day week. I think that was the last time we went live, right? That was a surprise release of Be With You. No, the love ballad that's touching a lot of lives. It's on this new EP that we're about to talk about in the book Goodbye Past, Hello Future, a book of poetry, Kingdom Poetry, right? It's still number one in the second week, by the way. Yeah.
Mhm.
Woohoo. We just want to thank you guys for all of that support that rendered all this time with the first 4 singles. As he said earlier, we're here with another surprise, and that surprise is the EP, meaning we didn't have a rollout for this song, meaning that we didn't pre-promote it in any media or anything. And we have a new record that's going to start off the EP that you definitely need to check out called Every Chance I Get, right? Produced by my bros, me and my bros, the sister company, Music Doctors. That be Lou and Theo and myself. And it's touching a lot of people. It's out today. Go stream it. We're already at 30 over 31K streams. It just hit live this morning. So we're just grateful, man. Valentine's Day week surprise release was amazing. It was the first time, bro. It was the first time that we've ever really put any book or music out at the same time simultaneously without rollouts and just say, boom, here you go, surprise. And God was paramount, like the shirt, PME
Mhm.
gear, merch store is open now, Shopify. Go online to see that at permissionent.com. Got my local, got coffee mugs, we got the hats, as you'll see, one of the hats on the album cover of the EP, Eternal Love Volume 1, right? And 5 singles, right? Four of which he just named my buddy Steve. Went number one. The most recent, "Be With You," hit number one on R&B charts to beat out some pretty big names. Jamie Foxx, Jill Scott. These are Grammy Award-winning Oscar people, platinum artists, multi-platinum artists. So related, man. We're excited. Here we are. The
I
EP
love it.
is out. It is out. So go get it.
Yeah, absolutely. Such exciting stuff. I mean, eternal love. Let's talk a little bit about that, and then we'll go back and we'll talk about hello past, goodbye future, or rather, goodbye past, hello future.
Yeah, goodbye, pass
um,
out. Yeah.
but anyway, talk to us about the new song that nobody's ever heard before. Tell us a little bit about that one.
Oh man, every chance I get was a song that I really originally wrote in the private. I know it's kind of sounded a little like cliche and redundant, but all of these songs are love songs that I sang before the presence of God in my private time and meditation and prayer, right? And this one in particular, I think I sang the most in my private time, I took the acoustic guitar and would play it, I think, for about 2 years. And I finally got to lay it down and finish it and complete everything. This past weekend, we just released a book with Les Brown, co-author a book with Les Brown. It's called Your Story Heals, Successful Coaching, with some amazing uh, fellow co-authors and leaders, who are just great energy and synergy. Go get that as well. That dropped over the weekend. So prior to that book launching event in Newport Beach, California, I hit the LAX and my team came and picked me, our team came and picked us up from the LAX, and I went right into the booth in the studio to finalize every chance I get. And here we are. And it all started off with humble beginnings, really raw from scratch, and just words that every chance I get, meaning tomorrow's not promised, to any of us. So when you find true love, number one, ultimately in God, right? And then your significant others are loved ones, or your lover, your wife, your fiance or whatever, or your soon to be. It's that duality again. You know what I mean? And but it really did start off vertically first, telling God every chance I get, I want to be with you. you know uh every chance I get, you know what I mean? Every
Mhm.
second, every minute, every hour of the day. That's the hook, right? I want to be with you. And ironically, be with you follows that really well in the track list. You'll find out if you listen to the
Mhm.
EP. They kind of coincide. But every chance I get is that, just taking that opportunity as momentum, even that you mentioned earlier, in your introductory piece, your introduction or whatever or whatnot. Uh, that's, a lot of times we don't talk about momentum, bro, in terms of love, and not just safeguarding that love, but compounding that love. You brought up the compound effect,
Mhm.
because anything that we consistently do compounds, whether that's good or bad. You know what I mean? So this is
Mhm.
one of those songs about love and momentum. Like, every chance I get, I want to be with you, because the more I'm with you, the more I take advantage every second, every minute, every hour of the day. That's what even if that's not what I'm doing per se to the T, because we all fall short, right? With God's glory, we all fit. So, but it's this declaration though. It's that yearning, that, not wishful thinking, but wishful loving, right? And the
Mhm.
more embody that message, right, you encapsulate that and envelop that, you find that intimate that intimate fellowship, between us and God, or the ones
Mhm.
we love, right? It compounds, because now you're aware of every second, every minute, every hour of the day. I don't want to be with you, you know. Even if I'm not with you in the sense that everyone would think, right? But it's just it's the yearning of the soul, it's the yearning of the heart to just want to be with the one you love the most. And there's
Mhm.
no one I love more than I love God. That's why He's paramount. Just like the shirt said. I'm saying, yeah,
Mhm.
that's
I
right.
love it. Absolutely. Well, it's been such a cool month too. I mean, you
Oh
know,
wow.
uh,
Mm,
all the other things, but you've got Be With You that came out, right on the heels of Thinking having come out in January and hit number one. And then Be With You
mm,
came out and it hit. Um, Goodbye Past Hello Future came out, it hit.
number
Like you
one.
said, yeah, both of those both hit number one. Then you've got the book that went out last weekend with Les Brown.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's starting to charting
Yeah.
the raise on the charts too. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
then and then just about the time that the books started sliding down a little bit, because they do. Marketing is a consistent kind of thing.
Yeah.
We continued the marketing that we had planned, and it's hopped right back up. It's number one in a couple of categories, and number four. I mean, it's in the top five in like three categories. I mean, it's just doing
Mm,
crazy stuff.
yeah.
And now you got a new EP. And you were telling me this morning more than 30,000, more than 31,000, in fact, people And that was just in like the first couple of hours. That
Yeah,
doesn't
really.
happen by accident. That isn't one of those, um, you got some cute girl to see how many clothes you can get her to take off so that you could get, a video to go viral. I mean, come on, I mean, if you really want things to go viral, we all know that one works. All right. You
Oh
do
boy.
that or you injure yourself greatly, I mean, are the two things that we all know everybody on the internet looks at, right? Um, but I mean, you didn't do that. You just simply had the momentum. You've been
Yeah.
building it, and building it, and from there, you were able to just say, "Hey, this is here," and people immediately wanted it. In fact, I think this time you even had some people that were, spying on you, hoping you brought out something else that jumped the gun before you even knew that it was there.
So yeah, absolute. That's a good problem to
Yeah.
have. Yeah, man. To echo what you just said, it really, really comes down to leverage, the proper leverage, I think me and you were discussing that we have all these type of, dialogues, all, quite often we have these powerful dialogues. And the lingo that we speak on interviews is what we speak behind the scenes. I think that's what makes everything so surreal and so valuable is that, from the songs we write, from the poems we write, from the personal development books we write, you know what I mean? Beyond them being number one international bestsellers, I think the caveat, Steve, is that it's really who we are. It's really authentically who we are as, poets, authors, recording artists, global, and now we're global with it. But global means nothing if you got to that point being somebody that you weren't
Mm,
created to be or manufactured to be by the manufacturer, right? Who is God, the creator, Elohim, Yahweh, right? So I think that's why we can really celebrate, why it's such a celebratory moment is that we can go back to our books and we can go back to our music or acting even or like I'm working with LA Connection Comedy and Theater with Kent who produced Matthew Perry and all these Will Ferrell and Dolly Parton, right? I think what captivated them most is that he said, I haven't seen anybody do what you're doing, but it seems so authentic and genuine. It's improv TV, meaning there's no pre-script, right? So everything is leveraged, but just to kind of pivot back to what we're talking about, kind of paralleling these two, right? In everything that we're doing, yes, momentum, like there's good momentum, and then there's I think we have to almost start saying, Steve, when you say proper momentum, like what
mm,
is like because you can get momentum in a bad way. Like you keep
mm,
practicing something over and over again, and you're gaining momentum, it's compounding. So I think we're compounding the effect of being authentically who we are, in every aspect. Not that we're perfect, but I'll say one thing where we have been able to seemingly, I'll say, perfect something that would be being ourselves
mm,
from tonality, vocal tone, the style. These are a combination of things that you're gonna hear my upbringing in. Like even Sunshine with the Rain, but this one is more on the popish R&B tip. It's gonna kind of give you an idea of who I grew up listening to. There's a whole bunch of people say they hear so many different influences, but we made it our own. We personified it. I mean, I've heard Casey and JoJo. I've heard Cisco from Drew Hill. I've heard Marvin Gaye, Johnny Taylor. Somebody said that we reminded them of them. These are soulful singers. Sam Cooke. So, but I think more importantly, even with influences, that's still who we are. You know what I mean?
mm,
Like, yeah, and um, I think that's what it is, man. We have to practice the right momentum. Moments are momentum, and I think we're capturing that. We're being blessed to capture that. Me and you are really big. Both of us are big on leveraging momentum and moments.
mm,
Moments become momentum. Take the off.
mm,
You know, you got moments
mm,
create momentum, but the proper moment, like so, that's what I want to ask someone that's probably tuning in or going to tune in. Like, have you really paid attention to what the momentum is that you're
Mm.
attracting, because we attract momentum too. We leverage it, but we attract, and then we're attracting more of that type of momentum, and we're leveraging it, meaning we're making it work for us and everyone that's a part, um, but it starts with taking action, man. We're action takers, bro. Let me be real, dude. Um, I never really set out to do four number ones back to back, 13, 14 times number one back to that was not really my aim. The aim was already to be, just to really be, and still is, to be impactful.
Mm. Yeah.
Okay. There's a difference. There's a dichotomy between being impactful and being well known, or, having clout, as we call it today, clout. Everybody's chasing clout. You don't have to chase that. We're chasing impact, and meaning, I believe when you do that, Steve, you create this different type of ecosystem, and now your why, that why drives you, and now you're only focused on becoming better.
Mm. Yeah, that
Know
makes
what I
total
mean?
sense. Oh yeah. My good buddy Kevin always used to use this phrase. And I remember the first time he said it because I was like, because we've all heard the phrase practice makes perfect, right? And he
Right.
no. He goes, practice doesn't make perfect. He goes, what if you're practicing doing it wrong? He goes, all you gotta
Exactly.
do is get really good at doing it wrong. And I was
And
like,
we
okay,
know
all right,
about that
yeah,
too.
yeah, yeah,
We know
yeah.
about how
Oh
that
yeah.
feels.
We practiced a lot of things wrong too. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Um,
absolutely.
but when you the best part about it, and yes, you do need to have that clarity of knowing who you truly are,
Yeah.
and then just being your authentic self. And a lot of people do struggle with that. We had that conversation the other day about the whole, if you don't take the time to define who you are, somebody will gladly tell you who you are, and
Yeah,
just define that for you.
for
And
sure.
watch out for that,
Yeah.
because never do they have your best in mind, and they don't. Most of them don't even know you, but
Yeah.
um, you know, when we are our authentic self,
Hmm.
you can just you, and then you just show up as you. I
Yeah.
used to always tell my kids
Yeah.
when they were little, I was like, the problem with a lie is that then you got to remember what the lie you told was. Whereas with the truth, you don't have to stop and think about, what really actually happened, or what did I actually tell mom and dad
Yeah.
about.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can just tell
Yeah.
the story, and it's going to be the same every time because you're just telling the
Yeah.
truth.
That's it.
Um,
You're sharing your
and
truth. That's all
yeah,
it is.
the same thing is true about your momentum in the right direction when you know yourself, and then you do the thing that is just part of who you are. I mean, it shows up
Yeah.
when you were a
Yeah.
little kid. And I know this is totally you too, Willie. I can see little Willie J, back in Daddy's church, back in the
Oh
day,
man.
you know.
Yeah,
Um,
man.
I mean, you
Yeah.
were practicing those kind of things of just who you were, and it came out in
Yeah.
those ways. And we had this
Yeah.
discussion. You and I were having this discussion the other day about people would come to you and go, "Oh, that was so amazing! That was so incredible! That was so blessed! The Holy Spirit was really here." All those kind of things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and both of us have had that moment where it was like, "Oh wow, thanks." I mean,
Yeah.
because it wasn't the show that we were putting on. We didn't have to
Yeah.
get into a
Yeah.
state and remember who are, like, I mean, there are still a lot of bands that, it's a persona that they play on stage that is
Yeah.
totally not them when they're on stage.
Exactly.
Whereas, you and I
Exactly.
both know what it's like. It's just like,
Yeah.
I went through that with the radio show. I remember somebody was like, oh, you got to make sure you don't say and other filler words and stuff like that. And then I was watching this really, really high end professional broadcaster one day, and I heard him say like 25 times in like 2 or 3 minutes. And I was like, man, if this guy who's literally making hundreds of millions or tens of millions of dollars every year as a professional broadcaster is still using filler words, maybe I need to just give myself a break and just show up as me. And sure, I
There you
still
go.
use filler words like that I just used, but I don't even think of them anymore. I just you just be you and you just show up. That's why you can go to the studio, and whether it be one song or a 5 song, or a 5 song EP, you can just pretty well go in and drop them and be like, all right, we
Yeah,
got
no pen and paper.
yeah.
And I have proof of that. I haven't
Uh,
used pen and paper or any digital notes to record in years. It's been a long time.
I, I love that you're talking about how you went to Newport Beach last weekend,
Yeah, oh man,
um,
a
to
great time, man.
right, to drop the new book with um, what's his name, um,
Les Brown. You're talking
Les
about Les
Brown.
Brown.
Yeah,
Les Brown.
went, went,
Yeah,
went
Les
for
Brown.
went for the launch of that. And
Yeah,
while you were there, you had this other song, and you knew you were going to bring out the
yeah.
EP. So
Hmm.
you go in the studio and you just kind of kick out a new song. I mean.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Absolutely.
And then the guys,
Absolutely.
the guys are so good at what they do. They just mix it all together, and they're like, "All right, we're ready.
Yeah,
We got
yeah,
we got song number 5, and we got the whole EP ready to go. Send it off." There's
yeah.
processes, there's systems to all this kind of stuff, but
Mhm.
I mean, they
Yeah,
all start from being genuinely who you are, and that's where it really,
yeah,
that's where it
man.
really shows up. You can go in the studio and you can just be like, "Hey, I'm just going to go be Willie J today in the studio,
Yeah,
um,
yeah, man.
talking about every chance I get this time, rather than
Yeah.
talking about, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
Les Brown's book that I'll be talking about later on today."
yeah. Absolutely, absolutely, man.
That's good
That's
stuff.
yeah, that's good stuff you just shared, bro. I love that, man. No script. There's no script needed. I remember some very, prominent leaders, asking me, what is your conceptual idea behind quenching fear when you're on the big stage, or whatever. Or then I think I've had a brother ask me, do you ever look back at some of your interviews and listen back to just some of the stuff that you're saying, like resilience is brilliance, like, yeah, that's me. Like,
Mm.
I've had to be resilient all my life, and overcome a lot of things that a lot of my friends didn't, they weren't able to endure and make it through by the grace of God. But I learned that it always pays to be yourself. So when we say never stop winning, we say goodbye past, hello future. You see us on that stage with the cult and the crowd of people. I mean, that's just me, that's me. I was telling Steve, when we were trying to decide for the cover, like, man, which way, what do you think about this pick right here? I think this really embodies the poetic, you know, the
Mm.
poetic vibe, that we're trying to capture, in terms of the artwork. Everything is strategic, but even with being strategic, we're strategically being ourselves. I think that's important. That's why we can go in to the studio and record, because you're not remembering the script. You're simply, it's like going to a bank account, or going to your bank rather, and you go to the ATM. Put your card in. If you have something in there to withdraw, I mean, you just put your card in there and boom. So
Mhm.
that's where the information is, where the goodies are, on the inside. So everything comes from the inside out, bro. But I think that is what really separates us. And I have to mention this too. I know we're talking about Eternal Love, Volume One. I'm just so elated that, it's just ironic talking about leveraging moments and momentum, right? This is Black History Month, and we're like #1 in African poetry. And I'm sitting up here looking at that even right now as we speak. Two
Mhm.
categories, the Kindle and the book version, right? And that's that's just back to being ourselves. Like, so what, this is the way I convey love. Like, you hear the love records. This is what I'm doing behind the scenes. Everything that they see us doing on the front of the scene, or in front, or out front, or publicly, right, is merely a mirror of what we're already doing, or what we're always doing, in terms of practicing it and getting better and compounding that effect, and striving to get better. So there's no script. That was my answer to the constituents. I say, well, only time I come back and listen to an interview for myself is that I'm striving to get better at it, and I'm asking myself this one question, Stephen. That is this does that really sound like me? Is this my voice? And then I can honestly say, yeah, I'm not really trying to. look in the technical piece in terms of like, oh man, did I dot every I or every T? You know, and you're
Mhm.
still supposed to, of course, you know, we to articulate, we would always love to articulate things better, right? We should always strive to be better. But I think more importantly, I'm making sure that I don't lose my voice in
Mhm.
any climate, that my voice it resonates the same in terms of this is my signature. This is like when I say growing with the flow, that's really what we're doing. You know, and as a life coach, we're saying the same thing. Or if I'm saying be with you, like, no, I really mean every lyric. That's why I don't have to try to remember it. It's there. It's already there. And that's the celebration of me is that we're empowering people, changing lives. So many people being blessed by this. I get crazy, a plethora amount of DMs and texts from all over about I can't stop listening to this. This is doing something for me. It's brightening up my day. I have to listen to it every morning, or I have to read this poem every morning. It's changed. It's changing the trajectory of each listener and each reader. That's what's important. And it's really who we are. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
And that's the celebrate.
Oh yeah.
Not just the number ones. Bigger than the number ones is that, oh, we God really blessed us to get here being ourselves.
Mhm. Oh
No
yeah.
one else. You know what I mean? From the artwork and
Yeah.
everything. We cartoon. I wish you could pull that album cover up and show them, but uh you guys will see it. It's we went a different route. I took one of my real pictures, and as you're gonna see, it just made it like I just told them to cartoon it. You know, it's really me still once again, but I was like, let's cartoon that picture that I took, and came out pretty decent. Well, actually, a lot of people love it, and they're chewing it up like crazy now, man. I'm just predicting that we will have a number one EP. There it is. There it is. Eternal love.
Mhm.
The only love that's eternal is AGAPE love, God's love. And that's where we love from, that space. That's
Mhm.
why I named it that. That love, I can't convey any love in that manner or any manner for that matter, in a real manner, in an impactful way without withdrawing it like that bank, like the ATM from God's love. Like it has, we can't love each other. We can't love our wives and wives can't love their husbands. People, we can't love our families. We can't love our constituents the right way and people the right way without eternal love. Because that's the love that never runs dry. That's the love that's infinite. That's the love that's unconditional. It's not based on, oh, you did everything right
Mhm.
for me, or you did, you know what I mean? Like, so that's how God loves us. So in retrospect, like if we really want to bing off of it, it's merely like it's so dual. It's almost like a boomerang. Like it's like, okay, vertical love, God shows me what true love really is, right? And that He is love. So now with that vertical thing, now I can share that horizontally in any way that I need to show it in any aspect, in any form of relationships now, because now I'm not loving from a fleshly place or a human place because our love is not eternal. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like we love based on conditions a lot of the times.
Mhm.
So I can't love from that space. So that's what this project is merely about. And you're gonna find out. I get reports of people say, "Oh man, this is I could sing this to my wife," or I can. Then I'm like, "Whoa!" But at the same time, I'm singing it to God, but then I'm singing it to my wife because they're all interconnected. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
There's no other space to love from but eternal love if it's true love, if it's real love. We talking real love, not artificial AI love. Not that kind of love.
You're not talking about your AI girlfriend in
No, we're
this?
not talking about your AI girlfriend and boyfriend now. We're talking about the real thing. Ray Charles had a commercial he did for was it Pepsi or Coca-Cola? He said, "Ain't nothing like the real thing, baby." Like, no, we're talking about the real deal love, and that's that God love where he loves us even in our imperfections. And I think that's what
Mm.
eternal love is all about. No,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, absolutely.
you know what I mean?
It's
So
just such a, and what I wanted to do more than anything else today is just show people versus tell them. We can tell them moments create momentum, that consistency is what it's going to take to be that you need to be clear who you are, to have that clear signal, all those things that we talk about all the time to people. But
yeah,
really, honestly, the easiest way is just to show them. I mean,
yeah.
whether we do eternal love, or I mean, I'll even do it right now while we're talking.
Okay, awesome,
Bear with
Tess.
me. Bear with me for just a second
Dope.
here, but I
That's dope.
am
That's
going
dope.
to just literally bring up this really cool new-ish book that came out a couple of weeks ago.
Uh-huh.
Um, just got to click about 4,000 buttons here to be able to get to it. Are
Okay,
you sure
take
you
your
want to
time.
do it? There
Take
we
your
go.
time.
You know, Goodbye
Yeah,
Past, Hello Future. Yes, it
yeah.
absolutely is a number one international bestseller. And yeah, it now has 6 reviews and headed towards having a whole lot more than that. But
Absolutely.
when you
Thank
scroll
you,
down on
guys.
it, yeah, you scroll down on it, I love it. Number one in 2 categories there. Number four in Christian values and virtues, which is, you know,
Yeah,
powerful as well.
yeah, yeah.
And we can even look live right now while we're with the people. This is what people are saying about it.
Oh, wow,
Felt the
wow,
book in my soul from the first page.
wow.
you know Book is full of uplifting messages that feel real and heartfelt.
Mm,
The poems reflect struggles, growth, and the pursuit of a better future in a way that
mm.
feels authentic.
Oh,
Poetry
wow.
is unlike anything I've read before. It takes you from the streets to church, from heartbreaks to healing, and everything in between. um, Felt like the author was speaking directly to me. uh, you know Phenomenal book with a life-changing message. I mean, that's
Wow.
that
Wow.
is
That's my
you
first
know
time hearing. I haven't read any of the reviews yet. This is new to me.
yeah, I mean,
Thank you
and
for
uh,
sharing
and then
that.
and then there's you in that dope coat too.
Thank you, man. I
With the
appreciate
hat,
it.
you were talking about the hat too.
Yeah, yeah.
But
PME hat
it's
and
the
the dope
hat.
coat, huh? I appreciate it. I'm glad you think feel as dope. I mean, I've gotten a lot of, great feedback from it as well. So thanks for sharing that, man. That is why we do what we do right there. That precisely is the reason why we do what we do. Um, man, that's it. You know, empowering people, change lives, create hope. That is they're really encapsulating and embodying the true essence of what this book is truly about. And it does have all of those elements. I'm just glad they're saying it though. I mean, me, I knew when writing it, I knew like it was intentional. It's like, and I still had to condense it. I could have written 300 points. I think it's what 120. What is
Something
it?
like that. Yeah, pretty close.
Something like that. But I would just want to make it just count. Like every poem, I wanted it to have a lot of substance and
Mhm.
impact, and just took my time on that. And I'm grateful. Thank you, bro. I didn't know you were gonna do that with the reviews, and that's what keeps me motivated beyond the number ones, right? And I'm glad you read that. Like second week, and then the first week, I think we were in like 5 categories with that book, dude. I think it was number one in Christian values and Christian poetry, African poetry, and I think it was something else. Might have been oh, biographies, biographies of R&B artists. Remember
Yeah.
that? We
Hmm.
went number
Yeah.
one in that category as well, which was crazy to me.
Yeah.
Super
Absolutely.
dope. Really dope. All of you guys dope, man. You dope, and everybody that like I'm just so
Mhm.
grateful for it. It's just such awesome juice, man, to have the support that we've been having, man. I get sometimes a little choked up sometimes with joy and just gratitude because people don't have to, listen to your stuff and buy it and leave, powerful reviews and just buying stuff, man. Like everything we've been throwing out is going to number one. Like I heard someone say this. Let me say this. You're about to laugh. It might have been shout out to our compadre Aaron Emmy, president of Permission Entertainment, my bro, and our good buddy, one of my another best friend. And he said, he said, this is awesome, Willie. He said this, I think, during Couldn't Imagine. We were on our first one in the pop. So we had two records that three that hit pop bestseller, then two number one pop bestseller. Then Movers and Shaker was the third one, and then pop bestseller next to Bruno Mars. And then he said in between there, he said, Willie, the only problem with number one is great. Number one is great and amazing. He said, but the pressure to have to keep duplicating that or
Mm.
wanting to keep duplicating that. He said, how do you deal with it? I said, I take the URE off of the word pressure. I practice what I preach. I didn't put this in all my books, man. That was not like, I said, I take it off and I press forward and I stay focused on what's important. That is impact.
Mm. Yes. Yeah. And this EP is going to make an impact on people's lives. The book, get the book, get the EP. It's going to absolutely make an impact on your life, and that's why we do it. That's what it's here for.
Appreciate you,
It's
brother.
I mean, yeah, Willie's got, and you can go onto his Instagram and you can see, the big plaque, with the, and that was pretty cool, but it's not about those kind of things. It really
No,
is
that's
about,
so
I
much
mean,
deeper. So
we
much
would
deeper than
we would
that.
trade all of it to reach
Oh,
out and just have one kid be like, man, that touched me,
that part.
um,
That's the
yeah.
part. There's people who were suicidal and heard our music and read our books that get reports like that as young
Mhm.
as 15 years old sometimes, that they decided not to take their lives because they were able to encounter God through our material or content. You can't
Mhm.
beat that. Now the plaque can't give you that. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it
Yeah.
can amplify your voice, your authentic voice, to give you more of a reach, of course. We look at it like taking land like Joshua, you know. Uh, but that's what it's about, man. No, I'm choked up, man, with joy,
Mm.
bro. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow. Yeah, man. It's
Good stuff going on.
Thank you, bro. I
Yeah,
appreciate you, man. The
I
dream
love
team.
this. Moments moments aren't what create momentum. Momentum is what creates the moments. And
Exactly.
when the system is followed, everything rises together. You can actually help. I, I was saying this to somebody the other day, and you and I have said it one another, many times, but there's such a prevalent attitude right now in the world of fighting against the things that you're not okay with. And I'm
Yeah.
not coming against people, whatever they believe in, it's none of that kind of thing. But the real truth is if you really want to make an impact,
Yeah.
be the light that's inside of you, shine who you are,
Yeah.
really show up with
Yeah.
that kind of thing, and you
Yeah.
will impact not just yourself but everybody that's in your world, everybody that comes
Yeah.
into your space. And
Yeah.
that's really
Yeah,
what
man.
we're here
Yeah.
for, and
Yeah.
that's really what eternal
Yeah.
love can help us
That's
do, is
yeah.
is really make a difference for
Oh
ourselves,
yeah.
yes, but for everybody that we come in contact with.
Oh man, no question. 100%. 100%. You will never be the same if you go through those five records. And I encourage you. I know all of you guys have your favorites. Some people say they're confused because all of them are their favorite. They don't know which one they like the most. They love
Mhm.
all of them. And we want that. That's a good problem to have. So, but more importantly, you know, that's the thing. I promise you, if you listen to that flow right from track list, every chance to get the newer one, all the way up, it's in chronological order from the most recent to the oldest, starting back to October 2025 with Couldn't Imagine. You won't be the same. I know you
Mm.
won't.
Yeah,
It's a journey.
good stuff.
It's gonna be transformative, and it's gonna be a transformative journey. In my prayers that you will transcend
Mm.
all boundaries where you are, prosper where you are, and run into God in the most intimate way and sing these songs to people around you to him and the people around you, and it will change everything. Yeah,
Absolutely.
I guarantee
Well,
it.
today we're showing you specifically momentum in real time. Tomorrow, I'm actually going to come out and I'm going to do a long live. We'll be on for at least an hour together. I'm just sharing my new signature talk with the world, right here live on my live. And we're going to break down the mechanics of exactly what it takes to find your voice, share your voice, and use that kind of
Yeah,
stuff. So I hope people will join us back again tomorrow. Of course, you're
yeah,
welcome to come on. You can even jump on to talk with me if you want to, Willie. You're
yeah,
more
for
than
sure,
welcome.
for
I know
sure.
you got some stuff going on, but I
Yeah,
really
yeah.
appreciate.
I may say a quick shout out. I have sessions, a few sessions
Yeah,
tomorrow, some
yeah,
promo things to do for where we're going. But I definitely shout you out, brother. I'm just grateful to have people like you, as a friend, constituent, and part of the PME Dream Team, and an affiliate. And I'm just grateful to have you, brother. Appreciate you for having me on.
oh, thanks so much.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
appreciate you so much. The link is, there for people to go and get the EP today. Thanks so
yeah.
much for joining me here today, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you. Pick up this merch too. Our merch store is open,
Mm,
puremissionent.com. Go get
yes,
your
yes.
merch. The clothes that you wear, it will shift your energy, your frequency, okay, to that of abundance. All right. So thank you guys again for always supporting you, brother. We have some more things that's coming up too, me and you, but we'll talk about that later. We'll talk about it
Yeah,
another time.
absolutely.
Thanks, brother.
All
You have a
right.
good one. All right.
Thanks.
Blessings. Peace.